Meghan Markle's biographer Omid Scobie hit out at King Charles III for being out of touch with his plans to hold a luxurious coronation after discussing the great anxiety and hardship felt by Britons in his Christmas speech. The King featured footage of food banks and meal services providing support to the struggling public in the midst of one of the worst cost of living crises experienced in the UK in decades. Mr Scobie, however, branded His Majesty hypocritical for denouncing the state of affairs currently facing Britons whilst U-turning on his plans to have a leaner coronation service in favour of full-out pomp and circumstance. Mr Scobie said, "It seemed rather hypocritical for the King to express sympathy and concern for difficulties faced by the nation he serves when, just a week prior to recording his message at Windsor Castle, he had quietly made a dramatic U-turn on plans for cut-price coronation celebrations." Buckingham Palace had previously announced the King's coronation next May would be scaled back compared to the service held in honour of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. But Prime Minister Rishi Sunak last week pledged the coronation will show off the best of Britain and will be a unique moment for the country. Mr Scobie estimated the cost of the coronation could require up to £100 million, double the cost of his mother's coronation over 70 years ago. King Charles warned restless Prince Harry prepared to make final cut with royal roots. He added, "Despite the estimated increased cost, Charles' ceremony will be shorter and last between 1 and 2 hours, as opposed to his mother's 3-hour event, with rituals considered outdated or cumbersome cut to allow for the reduced run time." There are also expected to be far fewer attendees at the 2023 coronation, 2,000 compared to 8,000 at the late Queen's. The King's coronation will fall less than a year after the UK experienced a 4-day celebration to mark the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee in June. Charles will also go through his first official birthday parade, Trooping the Colour, in June 2023. Going to end in tears, Meghan and Harry off limits at Christmas after spoiling day. The chief of the anti-monarchy group Republic, Graham Smith, told Yahoo News the decision to go ahead with a large coronation ceremony was crass considering the struggle many families across the UK are going through. Mr Smith said, "Working people are struggling to pay rent and mortgages and feed their kids. It is utterly crass for Charles to demand a coronation that will be every bit as extravagant as the last one. The coronation isn't necessary, he is already king. This is all about promoting the monarchy and satisfying his ego." But historian Lord Roberts of Belgravia noted both King George VI and Queen Elizabeth II's coronation took place at a time of heightened pressure for both the UK and the rest of Europe. The King's grandfather, who ascended the throne in 1937 after Edward V's shock abdication, happened under the threat of Nazi domination of Europe whilst his mother took over whilst war rationing was still in place. Lord Roberts said, "They were both occasions when we could remind ourselves of our values and the sense of optimism that saw us through those terrible crises. The government should be applauded for taking the brave decision to host a much-needed celebration properly next year."